done, you know.
It's just one of those, we were kind of like.
You have to go up and,
It's all magic to me.
and we're gonna, the four of us are gonna stay. Are we gonna meet down here?
Yeah, well, no, I should ask. I wonder if through a remote camera, if that's gonna be enough.
I don't know.
Okay.
We have two.
Right.
Just like. Might settle down.
They're typically in the corner, but the hay is starting to get the same.
This happens to be a particular species that this opportunity just came up. Their female tiger gave birth, our female tiger gave birth, and then we were able to, due to some unforeseen circumstances, come together and, for the benefit of the species, bring an animal that was rejected by its mother in Philadelphia down to the Oklahoma City Zoo, so that we could go ahead and put it together with our three cubs who our mother, or their mother I should say, was taking great care of them. So it would seem to be a perfect fit. They were only a day or two apart in age, the cubs, and putting them together just, it made more sense than hand raising it.
Yeah, this morning was very exciting because we were able to get in there to place the new one. We were able to take the opportunity to examine our three cubs, and we have found out they're all three boys.
Wow, that's exciting.
It is very exciting.
And they also.
Yeah, so whenever you add an animal in an unusual situation like this, we definitely want to make sure that the mother, Lola, can have enough nutrition to support nursing an additional animal. And so we have evaluated her diet, and we are going to continue to monitor that. As those cubs grow, she needs to make more milk, we will adjust the diet. And so we watch that very closely, and we will also monitor their weight in upcoming examinations and when they get vaccinations as well.
Zoya was born last week, and her mom is a first-time mom, and she had a total of 5 cubs. And through different variety of veterinary issues, and after lots of care from the keeper staff and the veterinary staff at the Philadelphia Zoo, we were left with Zoya as our female tiger cub. And so what's best for her is that she not be hand-raised by people, that she be socialized with other tigers. And so we reached out to Oklahoma City Zoo, and you guys have been fantastic partners and said, let's give it a try. So here we are.
Excellent.
So we packed lots of bottles. We packed a bottle warmer, lots of water, formula, wipes, pads to clean up. She was obviously in a nice comfy carrier with lots of comfy pillows and stuff in there. She sat in the seat next to one of us the whole time. And we just watched her the whole trip and fed her every 4 hours, and here we are.
Excellent. Yeah.
You know, but we're looking at Zoya long term. And a cat that's raised by itself by humans is not going to learn those social skills that she needs to be a tiger. And by Zoya being raised with our family, she's going to learn all those skills. Because whenever Zoya grows up, we want her to be a mom, and we want her to be able to raise her own cubs the way she's supposed to. And this is going to be the best chance that we can give her. As you know, the cubs were born on the 9th of July. Their eyes generally start opening around 12 days afterwards. We usually wait a week or two, like I said, for mom to bond with those cubs and get that tight before we go in and do our wellness checks and find out what sexes of babies are. Normally, we will wait until about 6 weeks to do our next exam. That's whenever we pull them. We will do a better wellness check on them. If they get their first vaccinations, which is very important, especially before they go outside. And in about 8 weeks, thereabouts, the cubs will start venturing. And that's when it's going to get really fun, is having those guys starting to come out. But it all depends on the cubs, and it's all going to depend on Lola. That's basically the determination of all of our timelines.
We made a long road trip on very short notice to partner with Oklahoma City Zoo from Philadelphia, because we had a cub that needed some help. And you guys at Oklahoma City Zoo were very generous and had a mother tiger, newborn, triplets, and you were willing to accept our single cub into that group. And so we made a journey to come see you. So the difference between the Oklahoma City cats, the tigers here, are that they're a different subspecies than the subspecies of tiger that we house at Philadelphia Zoo. The Amur tiger is the subspecies, or Siberian tiger, is the subspecies that we have at Philadelphia. Known to be the largest of the big cats in the world. Zoya, our little girl, is lighter in color, so it should be easily identifiable with Lola and her triplets, and may also grow to be quite a bit bigger than her foster siblings.
Awesome. What does Zoya?
Zoya means life in Russian, and she's had a long journey in just her few days of life, and a long journey physically to get from Philadelphia to Oklahoma. So she was born as one of quintuplets and ended up being the surviving member of that group, and so we felt like Life was an appropriate name for her. So it's not too common that we use pacifiers or binkies for animals, but occasionally it is necessary. So it turned out that Zoya, the Amur tiger from Philadelphia, has a very strong sucking reflex. And so that's really good news in incorporating her with Lola and her new family. But in the interim, for the few days that while we were transporting and the couple of days that she was by herself in Philadelphia, she really benefited from being able to suck. When she's with her foster mom, or if she was with her birth mother, she would have the opportunity to suck at any point in a 24-hour period that her mother was available. So in this case, because she was orphaned early on, we wanted to offer her some comfort. So we used a pacifier on our travels.
Fantastic. So you're
What's it looking like?
Yeah. Tigers are not doing well at all in the wild. They are in big, big trouble. And one of the reasons that is so frightening, worrisome, is because tigers historically range through an enormous area, pretty much all of Asia. So all the way from Russia to Turkey, all the way down south to the Indonesian islands. That's where tigers used to be found 100 years ago. And that range has been reduced to about 6% of what it was. And so tigers are in big trouble. It's hard to know exactly how many there are. They're hard to count, of course, but the estimate is that there's 4,000 maybe total of all those subspecies. And that is really, really, really scary for a species that is loved, well recognized, extremely popular, critical in its environment in terms of the role it plays in the ecosystem. An apex predator is a very important role in an ecosystem. And an animal that had such a huge range, for it to be reduced like that and the numbers to be that low is really scary.
What are their biggest threats?
The biggest threat to tigers is poaching. So their bones, their skin, other parts of their body are considered really valuable, particularly in some traditional Asian medicine, and that is the biggest threat. There has been a lot of habitat loss as well, but there's probably over 1 million acres of tiger habitat left that has no tigers in it because of poaching for them specifically, and then also because their prey have been hunted out of those areas.